In today's world, value is often measured by what you have, your possessions, your job title, your social status, or the approval you receive from others. But this way of thinking is fragile and fleeting because the world is unpredictable and external things are always changing. The ancient Stoics invite us to look deeper, to understand that your true value comes from within. It is not defined by what the world says about you, but by who you are when no one is watching. Let's explore what it means to recognize, own, and live from your true value, the Stoic way. 1. Your value comes from within, not from external praise or criticism. The first and most important lesson the Stoics teach is that external approval is out of your control. Praise and blame come and go like the weather, unpredictable and often contradictory. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In other words, your suffering or joy depends on your interpretation, not the event itself. Your value does not depend on applause, wealth, or status. It depends on the virtues you cultivate: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are things you have control over. They form the unshakable core of your worth. 2. Character is more important than circumstances. Life is unpredictable. Good fortune can be taken away in an instant. Circumstances will never be fully in your control, but your character, your response, is always in your hands. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, emphasized this. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You might lose money, reputation, or comfort, but you cannot lose your virtue unless you willingly surrender it. The Stoics encourage us to build a character so strong that no external circumstance can shake it. Your true value shines brightest in adversity, not ease. 3. Don't seek approval, seek excellence. The desire for approval is deeply human. We all want to be accepted, valued, and loved by those around us. It feels good to be praised and included. Yet this natural need can quickly become a prison, a trap that binds us to the fluctuating opinions of others. When you make your sense of self-worth dependent on external approval, you hand over your power to forces outside your control. Suddenly, your happiness and confidence rise and fall based on praise or criticism, acceptance or rejection. You become a prisoner to the ever-shifting judgments of society. And the fear of disapproval can lead you to compromise your values, act against your conscience, or live a life that isn't truly yours. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, cautioned against this endless craving. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. In other words, poverty of spirit comes not from lacking possessions or status, but from a restless, insatiable hunger for approval and validation.
Instead of chasing applause or trying to fit in with every crowd, the Stoics urge us to shift our focus, to seek excellence in how we live rather than external praise. Excellence means living with integrity, wisdom, courage, and kindness, regardless of who is watching or applauding. It means choosing what is right over what is popular. True wealth, the Stoics remind us, is found in self-respect and inner harmony. When you align your actions with your highest values and principles, you create a foundation of worth that no one can shake or take away. This kind of self-worth does not depend on others' approval. It is steady, enduring, and unbreakable. Living excellently is not always easy. It often means standing apart, facing criticism, or walking a lonely path. But it is the path to true freedom. Because when you stop seeking approval, you reclaim your power to choose who you are. And that is the greatest wealth of all. 4. Your time and attention are your most valuable resources. In the age of endless notifications, constant noise, and relentless demands on our attention, one of the greatest challenges we face is protecting our most precious resources, our time and our focus. The Stoics understood that how we spend our time and where we direct our attention directly shapes the quality of our lives. Time is the one thing that once lost can never be regained. It is the currency of our existence, and yet it is often squandered on trivial distractions, toxic relationships, or the constant pursuit of fleeting pleasures. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who once lived as a slave, emphasized this truth profoundly. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. This means living intentionally, not simply knowing what is good or valuable, but actively choosing where to place your attention and how to spend your moments. Your attention is like sunlight to a garden. What you shine it on will grow. If you focus on distractions, worries, or negativity, they will take root and flourish in your mind. But if you nurture your mind with meaningful, purposeful, and virtuous thoughts and actions, your inner life will blossom with strength and calm. Guarding your focus is an act of self-respect and self-love. It means saying no to the urgent but unimportant, the noisy but empty. It means setting boundaries around your time and attention to protect your peace and cultivate growth. In a world designed to pull your mind in 1,000 directions, choosing to concentrate deeply and intentionally is a radical act. It empowers you to live with clarity, purpose, and calm, even amid chaos. Your time and attention are the soil in which your character and life are grown. Value them, protect them, and invest them wisely, because how you spend your moments is how you build your life. And the quality of your life, in turn, reflects the quality of your focus. 5. You are part of something greater. Value your role. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is that we are not isolated beings drifting aimlessly through life. Rather, each of us is a vital part of a greater whole, a complex, interconnected web that includes our families, communities, society, and ultimately the universe itself. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminded himself daily, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee."
This simple but powerful truth reveals that your value is not just personal, but deeply social and universal. Your actions, however small they may seem, ripple outward, affecting those around you in ways you may never fully see. When you embrace your role in this larger whole, you begin to see your life with new meaning and purpose. You recognize that your worth is enhanced not by what you take for yourself, but by what you give back to the world. Stoicism calls us to live in harmony with nature and with humanity, to act justly, to serve others, and to contribute positively to the common good. This is not about sacrificing yourself or losing your identity. It is about realizing that your true power and value lie in cooperation and connection. In a world that often celebrates individualism and personal gain above all else, this Stoic wisdom is a powerful reminder that we are strongest when we recognize and honor our interdependence. By living in alignment with this greater purpose, you anchor your value in something enduring and transcendent. You become part of a story larger than yourself, a story of growth, resilience, and collective well-being. In this way, your value expands beyond your own life, touching the lives of others and contributing to the fabric of a better world. Embrace your role.
Serve with kindness and integrity. And know that, through this, your true worth shines brightest. 6. Accept imperfection, strive for growth. No one is perfect. This simple truth is both humbling and freeing. The Stoics never demanded flawlessness. Instead, they emphasized the ongoing journey of self-improvement, the daily commitment to becoming better, wiser, and more virtuous. Your value is not measured by how perfectly you live, but by your willingness to face your imperfections honestly and courageously. Recognizing your faults without denial or harsh judgment is the first step toward genuine growth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often that the path to wisdom is paved with self-awareness. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Acknowledging imperfection isn't about making excuses or accepting stagnation. It is about cultivating humility, the strength to admit where you fall short, and the resolve to improve. Every mistake, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to grow stronger. This mindset transforms setbacks from sources of shame into stepping stones toward excellence. Stoicism teaches us to be patient with ourselves, to understand that growth is a process, not an event. It's the small, consistent efforts over time, the choice to reflect, correct, and try again that build lasting value. By embracing imperfection and striving for continuous improvement, you foster resilience and wisdom. You cultivate a self-worth that is not brittle or conditional, but deep and enduring. This commitment to growth is an act of profound self-respect. It honors the potential within you, the capacity to become the best version of yourself, not despite your flaws, but through them. Remember, your true value is not in being perfect. It is in being real, honest, and dedicated to growth. 7. Practice self-compassion without excuses. Self-compassion is a delicate balance, one that the Stoics approached with both rigor and kindness. It means treating yourself with understanding and forgiveness when you falter, yet without letting excuses or complacency take root.
It's easy to fall into harsh self-judgment, punishing ourselves endlessly for mistakes or shortcomings. But this only breeds despair and stagnation. At the same time, unchecked self-pity or making excuses for poor behavior erodes the discipline needed for real growth. The Stoics urge us to find a middle way, to recognize our humanity with compassion while maintaining accountability for our choices. Seneca advised, "No man was ever wise by chance." Wisdom and virtue are cultivated through effort and honest self-reflection, not through denial or self-indulgence. When you practice self-compassion without excuses, you create a safe inner space to learn from your errors. You acknowledge what went wrong without losing sight of your potential and responsibility. This balance frees you from the paralyzing grip of shame and guilt, empowering you to move forward with renewed clarity and commitment. It allows you to be patient with your progress while staying firmly focused on your highest ideals. In this way, self-compassion becomes a powerful tool, not a refuge for weakness, but a foundation for resilience. By embracing this gentle yet disciplined approach, you honor your value as a human being, imperfect but capable, fallible but striving. You cultivate a mindset that nurtures growth, fosters peace, and strengthens your character over time. This is how true self-worth flourishes, through honest kindness towards yourself,
combined with unwavering dedication to becoming better. 8. Your worth is independent of material success. In a culture that often equates success with wealth, possessions, and outward status, it's easy to confuse material abundance with true worth. The Stoics, however, remind us that real value transcends all external things. Material goods are fleeting. They can be gained and lost in an instant. Wealth can vanish, reputations can crumble, and possessions can be taken away. Yet none of these external factors touch the essence of who you are. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "Don't hanker after what you don't have. Instead, fix your attentions on the finest and best that you have, and imagine how much you would long for these things if they weren't in your possession." True worth is found in the cultivation of your inner virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These qualities cannot be bought or sold. They are impervious to fortune's changes.
9. Own your value daily through action. Understanding your true value is only the beginning. The real challenge and the real power lies in living that value each day through your actions. Stoicism teaches that value is not a fixed trait or a title to be earned once and forgotten. It is a continual practice, a way of being that must be embodied moment by moment. Epictetus, once a slave and later a great philosopher, captured this when he said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Your worth becomes real and undeniable not when you declare it, but when you demonstrate it. Every choice you make, every action you take, either builds up or erodes your value. This means that the small, seemingly insignificant decisions matter deeply. How you treat a cashier, how you respond to frustration, whether you choose honesty over convenience, these moments accumulate to shape the person you're becoming. Consistency is key. Living your values when it's easy or when others are watching is simple. The true test and where your value truly shines is when it's hard, when no one else is paying attention, or when you could take the easier path and still choose virtue. Owning your value daily requires courage and discipline. It requires you to hold yourself accountable, to face your flaws, and to recommit to growth each morning. But it is in this ongoing commitment that your self-worth becomes unshakable, radiant, and real. Because when your life is a living expression of your highest principles, your value cannot be diminished by external forces or temporary setbacks. It becomes a beacon, steady, enduring, and deeply respected, first by yourself, then by others. So choose to own your value today and every day after. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your life be the proof of the worth you hold inside. Remember, your value is not defined by external circumstances. It is the quiet strength of your character, the courage of your convictions, the wisdom of your choices. You are valuable simply because you exist. You are valuable because you can choose how to live. Own your value, live it fully, and let the world see the power that comes from within. If this message inspired you, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom to guide you on the path to a meaningful, peaceful life. What does your value mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below.